Now broadcasting from his hidden bunker and fully stocked bar, it is the Saturday Report with Colt Sebastian Taylor.
Thank you and welcome once again, my friends, to the Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor, adventurer, entrepreneur, and amateur foreign correspondent. Welcome to AWSM Radio, an independent digital-only radio station that plays today's best music, old school classics, along with a rotating cast of all-star DJs. AWSM Radio focuses on mainstream artists, independent artists, along with a variety of interesting talk and music shows throughout the day. All we do is entertain, inspire, and inform. And my friends, I want you to be part of the conversation. I want to hear from you, so you can find me on the Twitter, on the Rizzo, on the Instagram, and on the Cameo at Colt S. Taylor. You can subscribe to the podcast versions of this show at anchor.fm/Colt S. Taylor. And of course, if you haven't already, after all this time, bookmark ColtSebastianTaylor.com for all things me. It's finally updated, so you can check that out as well. All right, my friends, let's get started with this week's Saturday Report. First up this week, in case you haven't been paying attention to the news, Ukraine got invaded by Russia. Yeah, for those who are a little lacking on the whole geography aspect of the world, Ukraine is a large European country, and Russia, a even larger European and Asian country, and Russia invaded it just a few days ago. Claiming to protect Russian-speaking people in eastern Ukraine, declared two areas that they are now independent nations, and then since they're independent nations, they can ask for help, so now we're going to help. But then they've been doing missile and rocket attacks all over the country. Very heartbreaking stuff you will see on the internet and on TV. I won't go on too deep into it. This is being covered by everyone, so my coverage really is paling in comparison to the folks over there covering it. But what I have found to be just maddening is that there are some people out there trying to score political points on this huge tragedy in Europe. Like, the biggest war in Europe since World War II, and people are pointing out their press releases saying this is Joe Biden's fault. Madison Cawthorn, noted D-bag from North Carolina, was posting pictures of injured Ukrainians saying this is your fault, Joe Biden. And then I guess what sort of irritated me the most was Steve Bannon, noted Jabba the Hutt impersonator, who I'm surprised is not in jail, should be in jail, was on his show with Eric Prince, noted former CEO of Blackwater, the mercenary outfit that changed its name a few times due to legal reasons. We're praising Putin because it's like, oh boy, Putin, that's the leader I want, because he only recognizes two genders and he isn't woke. That country knows what it's doing. They know which bathrooms to go to. And you know, I would really like to see those two just in jail one day. They're just garbage people. They're broken people, and all they do is steal money from other people by lying to them. So that was probably the most irritating thing I saw. And then I guess it kind of ties into another story that I won't get into because this has been covered plenty, but Texas and Florida advanced bills this week, or legal opinions, that are very anti-LGBTQ plus. I think I'm hitting all the ones there. Is just devastatingly anti that community. In Florida, if this law passes, if a principal discovers that a student is not straight, then he is obligated to tell the parents within 6 weeks. That's a new amendment on the bill. May surprise you, not all parents are going to react too well to learn about that, and many young, non-straight children, teenagers, often get thrown out of their houses because their parents find out about that, and they're not quite in a position to take care of themselves, so they either have to go with other family members or become homeless on the street. So in Florida, you're legally required to do that. And then in Texas, the governor another noted D-bag, has instructed, and then the attorney general, who should be in jail also, is being investigated by the federal government, saying that any form of transgender whatever with parents is now considered to be child abuse, and if any teachers suspect their parents are supporting transgender children, that should be reported immediately to child safety, child abuse agencies and whatnot. So, So between that, UK and Russia, Florida and Texas being just the armpits of America, just truly. I mean, not everyone who lives there, but a lot of people live there. I mean, those people got elected for a reason. But the governors of Texas and Florida are just, again, awful, terrible, ridiculous people who I would say should be ashamed of themselves, but I don't think they actually have a soul anymore, that it's totally shattered, that they just don't feel shame anymore. I mean, the governor of Florida was selling "Don't Fauci My Florida" t-shirts in December when there were record cases of death and infections there. He gave a speech today where he keeps saying the Brandon administration, like this "Let's go Brandon" catchphrase that the right is just all about. So, just such a clever way to say the F word. Okay. I don't think it is as clever as you think it is. I just don't know. There are a few good, funny, conservative comedians out there. Not many. Jim Brewer sure ain't one of them. Boy, how about that? That guy's career has crashed and burned. Holy moly. But, anyways, so touching onto those stories, not going to get too far deep in them because they're being covered by everyone else, but just so you know, to my LGBTQ, I think I'm hitting all the letters there, plus friends out there in Texas and in Florida, my thoughts are with you. Not a very good situation down there. Hopefully some federal court will step in and say, all right, guys, knock it off. And to all my friends in the Ukraine, hope you're safe and well. I would encourage anyone out there to find, an international organization for food, like the Red Cross, so there are plenty. Do your research. I'm not going to recommend any particular ones, but hey, if you kick a few bucks to help the people of Ukraine, you're doing a good deed. I've already done that, so you should too as well. Moving along, but still in international news, the Winter Olympics wrapped up last weekend. Didn't watch a single event. Not really my area of, expertise or interest. But I am your intrepid news reporter, so just giving you a brief update of what the final medal count was. The most gold medals was Norway with 16, and also the most medals total, 37. It broke its record for the most gold medals won in the Winter Olympics. Norway is by far one of the most successful Winter Olympics countries there have been in quite some time. So they beat a joint record of 15 gold medals won by Norway in 2018, Germany in 2018, and Canada in 2010. So that was pretty impressive by them. New Zealand won its first gold medal in women's snowboard slopestyle by Zori Sadowski-Synnott. Bart Swings won Belgium's second winter gold medal, and the first since 1948. It's been a while for Belgium. And speed skating mass start. I don't know what that is, but I guess it's speed skating with lots of people. Germany was the only person to sweep the podium, meaning that they won gold, silver, and bronze in one event. Germany came in second with 12 gold medals. China, the ninth, 9 gold medals, came in third. Its best performance in Winter Olympics history by the host country. The Russian Olympic Committee, because Russia, besides invading Ukraine, also kicked out of the Olympics because of doping issues, but still let their athletes proceed to participate. Don't know how much that is a punishment. But they have the second largest number of medals at the game with 32, but finished ninth in terms of gold medals with only 6. Canada, traditionally very good at Winter Olympics, won 26 medals, but only 4 of them were gold. So they actually fell out of the top 10 in terms of number of Olympic medals won by a country, gold medals. Anyways, United States came in 4th with gold medals with 8. Overall gold medals, the United States was also 4th or 5th. 5th of that was 25. So, that wraps up the Winter Olympics. I believe the next Winter Olympics will be in 2026, and I believe, let's see here, that will be in Croatia. That's right, Croatia. Croatia. I believe that's the first time they have ever. No, wait, I'm sorry, not Croatia. It's in Milano Cortina. That is in Italy. So, and that is the 4th time Italy has hosted the Olympic Games. And apparently Cortina hosted the 1956 Winter Olympics. Go figure. Okay. Anyway, so stay tuned for 2026 Italian Winter Olympics. Back to Europe. We'll see how well various countries do there. We now go from the world of sports to the world of God. That's right. It's time to talk about religion. Have you heard the good news? Just kidding. I'm not here to recruit you or anything. But if you, by chance, have been baptized in Detroit, you may want to check to see who baptized you, because apparently there has been some issues. There's been some issues both in Detroit, also in Arizona, where it has been discovered that some priests have been not quite baptizing people correctly, and no one has sort of discovered that for 13 or 20 years. And if they don't use the exact words when they baptize you, then you're not baptized. You're supposed to say, "I baptize you in the name of the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit," but 2 of these pastors have replaced "I" with "we." In the eyes of the Catholic Church, they don't count. So not only does those baptisms not count, but like any priests that have been baptized to become priests, then they're not technically priests, so their baptisms to other people don't count as well. And so, that's a problem for those religious group. And the Catholic Church hasn't quite been able to figure out exactly how to rectify that. I mean, people can get rebaptized, obviously, but there's lots of people they can't track down, and some of those people, may have passed on by now, and they technically weren't baptized. So the Catholic Church is apparently trying to sort this out so that they can correct them or not. I mean, it's not like you could backdate baptisms, apparently, or like you could write like an exception, like, okay, it's this, except for these people, they get a special pass to be technically still be baptized. So, it's a big old mess. Apparently, this was discovered because someone was watching an old 1990 video cassette of them being baptized, and then realizing that, like, oh, wait a second, that isn't the way that's supposed to go. So that is a big issue that they're trying to figure out there. Words do matter. Holy moly, they sure do matter. So, I mean, as someone who frequently misstates things or switch words around when I get very excited or not paying attention or just normal conversation, I can certainly empathize with the person who thought they were doing it correctly. But boy howdy, you'd think someone would have picked up on that in 13 or 20 years. They're like, hey, Padre, maybe that's not right. Maybe that's not right at all. Ooh. But, yeah. So hopefully, the Catholic Church will be able to, I don't know, find some sort of loophole, issue a papal decree, the Pope is infallible. If he's sitting on a throne between the hours of noon and 3, this is his office hours with God. I don't know. But hopefully they can sort that out, because, a lot of people, this is important to a lot of people. And, they should be able to sort this out with the Home Office to make this work for people. Speaking of various blessings, my friends, you are truly blessed this weekend, because you will get to hear my pal DC liven it up with some great beats. He has 3 shows on AWSM Radio, and you need to listen to, at least 2 to 3 of them. I don't know, maybe 1, maybe 2 or 3 of them. You definitely should. First up, it's DC Live in Effect. He is our in-house DJ here, in case you missed it, and he mixes it up every Fridays at 9 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m. You don't want to miss it while he smashes it on the 1s and 2s, kicking the beats from South Florida every week. And, that originally was his first show, and people were saying, Colt, AWSM Radio should have something so that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I agree completely. Fortunately, management agreed with the people as well. So, Saturdays, it is DC House Party Saturdays. And DC is bringing his freestyle DJing to the max. The House Party Saturdays, they'll give you the taste of Miami without having to be down there in a terribly backward state. So, from the top clubs to the bars, DC's going to bring the party to you Saturdays at 10 p.m. So, just to review, it's going to be DC Live in Effect, DC House Party Saturdays, DC Live in Effect again, Fridays at 9, Saturdays at 10, Sundays at 10, right here, my friends, on AWSM Radio. Next, friends, we're staying in Florida because there's crime down there, just like there's crime everywhere. It's a thing, folks, But hey, someone was caught stealing in a Florida store down there. You probably say, okay, well, that's something not too terribly unusual. Lots of stuff to get at a true value home improvement store. Well, this guy stealing a crossbow. Yes, this guy was stealing a crossbow. Okay, well, he probably came in with a bag and stuffed it in a bag, trying to sneak out. Nope, he tried to steal a crossbow by stuffing it down his pants. Now, for those who are not trained in the world of crossbows, you don't play Dungeons and Dragons like I do or have a crossbow at home, they're not pants friendly. They kind of have a wide open sort of, end there with like the bow part. You maybe put it in like a big old coat, but down the pants, that is some brazen stuff right there. Probably say to yourself, okay, this Darren Durant, surely he didn't get very far. Probably didn't get even out of the aisle before someone noticed it. Well, no, he managed to get his way out of the store, left completely. Again, maybe these employees aren't the best ones out there. True value, you may want to up your minimum wage for employees to have them hire some better quality employees. But apparently, this Durant guy went through the store, walked around, stole a pair of cutting tools, and then cut the zip ties off of this crossbow and walked out with it. It's 33 inches long, and it weighs like 7 pounds. It's not like a light little hand crossbow that rogues would use when in encounters with beholders. But, yeah, it's kind of big, and he managed to get out of the store with it. Well, fortunately, the employee said, hey, there he is. Oi, there used to be a crossbow here. I just assume they have Australian accents. Reviewed the tapes, saw that this guy, stole it. A couple days later, deputies found him because he's someone that they knew of. Was found in a Walgreens parking lot. He ran, but they did catch him. He has 2 prior convictions on felony theft and was arrested for felony petite theft. I don't know what that means. I'm reading it here. But he was arrested. And he is currently in jail on an unrelated burglary charge and will now face felony petite theft of the crossbow later. Like, it says, it's the world's dumbest criminal. I don't know. I mean, did get out of the store with it, so, I mean, he obviously was able to walk out with the crossbow and the employees didn't see it, so he might be the world's dumbest thief, but I would not be ranking the True Value employees in Mims, Florida, up there as well. I don't think he was going to be the employee of the month there for letting a guy walk out with a crossbow. Moving along to music, Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, Jenny from the Block, is getting an award at this year's iHeartRadio Music Awards. She's receiving the iHeartRadio Icon Award for her longevity and impact on the industry. So she's receiving it this year. She recently released her first album in 8 years. 8 years ago, she did the soundtrack to her rom-com movie, Marry Me. But some of her greatest hits include If You Had My Love, Waiting Tonight, Love Don't Cost a Thing, I'm Real, Get Right, and On the Floor. I'm not a huge fan of Jennifer Lopez, but she's talented. I've enjoyed some of her movies and her music as well. She is the only artist to ever have a number 1 album and a number 1 film simultaneously. This was in 2001. Her 2001 album J-Lo and The Wedding Planner, which, you know what? It's a pretty good movie. I actually do like that movie. It's a pretty good movie. It's a cumulative worldwide box office gross of $3 billion and over 75 million records sold. So she is very talented. So she'll be honored as an icon during that award ceremony, to be hosted by LL Cool J, the 9th annual iHeartRadio Awards, airing live from LA's Shrine Auditorium on March 22nd at 8 p.m. on Fox. According to LL Cool J, to quote him, "It's an honor to return to the stage to host the iHeartRadio Music Awards and bring live music back to all the fans all over the world as we celebrate our favorite artists. I have a special performance for the fans, and the show will have some great surprises throughout the night. See you there." So, I don't watch music award ceremonies, but congratulations to Jennifer Lopez for becoming an icon, getting the iHeartRadio's Icon Award for her long career, and I would say great success. Great success. Moving along to the world of M&Ms. Yes, they melt in your mouth and not in your hand. They're also hard to stack, apparently, because there are world records for the most M&Ms ever stacked. And the record, my friends, has been broken. Yes, that's right. Brendan Keeby from Australia has reclaimed his Guinness World Record title by having the tallest stack of M&Ms, breaking the previous record, which was jointly held by Will Cutbill and Rocco Murico from the United Kingdom and Italy, respectively. So you're probably asking yourself, how tall is this stack of M&Ms? 6. Yes, that's right. I guess they're very hard to stack, but maybe you could beat them at home. Maybe these people are just really terrible and no one's recorded them, or no one else has recorded. But he stacked 6 M&Ms, and that beat the previous record of 5. Yes, that's right, 5. So if you're going to try for the record yourself, they have to be chocolate M&Ms, no mint, no peanuts. Okay. None of that nonsense. Regular chocolate M&Ms, and if you can beat 6, you will have the Guinness World Records. You have to stack them. It has to remain standing by itself, unassisted, for 10 seconds for it to be to count towards a world record, I guess you should probably record yourself doing it. Someone could just glue it together, obviously. But, record yourself doing it, and you might just be able to beat the world record. Now, this guy, Mr. Brendan here, he is a man of many talents. He does a lot of stacking, skills, and he is also a basketball player. He has 13 other Guinness World Records. I'm going to list them off here for you. Most drumstick flips in 1 minute, 98. Longest duration spinning of a basketball on a pair of spectacles, glasses, 29.67 seconds. Tallest tower of dice stacked on the back of the hand in 30 seconds blindfolded, 13. Most dice stacked in a tower in 30 seconds blindfolded, 20. Longest duration of spinning a basketball on the nose, 9.57 seconds. Longest duration to spin a fidget spinner on one toe, which is a thing, 6 minutes, 52.28 seconds. Longest time to spin a basketball on one finger while dribbling, 1 minute, 14.4 seconds. Most basketball three-point shots scored on NBA 2K9, which is a video game, in 1 minute, 29. Fastest time to flip 5 baseball caps on one's head, 8.63 seconds. Fastest time to build a 10 toilet roll pyramid, 3.49 seconds. Fastest time to arrange 6 dice in numerical order while blindfolded, 13.40 seconds. Fastest time to flip 6 water bottles in teams of 2, 13.65 seconds. And finally, the tallest stack of M&Ms stacked, 6. So, my friends, maybe you can wrestle one of these away from him. I imagine, I don't know which one of these would be the easiest one to do. Maybe the 10 toilet roll pyramid might be one worth going after. That seems like the most achievable, but 3.49 seconds is pretty quick to build a pyramid in 10 seconds. So, but anyways, the tallest M&M stack in the world record has been broken with 6. So congratulations to my Australian friend, Mr. Brendan Kilby of Australia. He now has 13 world records for a variety of somewhat interesting things. Speaking of world records, do you know who holds the record for the best show for driving home from work to making sure your evening commute home is fun, that features the hottest music on the charts and other surprises in between? That's right, it's the Rock Sessions, certified world record holder of that particular record. You can listen to her, My Pal Rocks, here on AWSM Radio Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. She will make it rock style. Listen to the Rock Sessions. It's going to make your evening commute home just all that much better, especially if you're leaving right at 4:55. You get in the car at 5, and then boom, you got the next 2 hours all taken care of for you. Let her get you home safely with some great music and some surprises in between, as I said. The Rock Sessions, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., right here on AWSM Radio. We now go to India for a nice story. The Chief Executive Officer of IDFC First Bank has given $100,000 worth of shares that he owns to his driver, trainer, and other household help at his home and office. People work for him as an unusual gesture of philanthropy in India. The CEO is named V. Vadayanathan, which I'm saying probably incorrectly, gave 900,000 shares to these people, or about 3.7% of his holdings, his stock holdings. The recipients are apparently going to be using this money to buy homes. So good to work for him. A very generous person. He has given about 38% of his wealth away since 2018. Includes a gift to his former math teacher, who gave him 400 rupees when he was a student to travel to a school that he wanted admission to, but did not have the money to travel there, so he gave him some money as well. So that is a very delightfully nice gesture by this CEO of this, I guess, bank. I guess it's a bank? Yes, of an Indian bank, giving 900,000 shares to his staff and people who work for him so they can buy homes there in India. I wish I worked for someone that generous as well, but until then, I shall soldier on. But hopefully they get some nice houses over there. So just to show you, just because you have lots of money doesn't mean you can't help out the folks that work for you. So for all you rich folks out there, keep that in mind. People work for you. They always enjoy a little generosity. Now go to, I believe, New England, where a freak medical accident happened. This might make you think twice about eating leftovers. Someone ate leftovers, which included chicken, rice, and a noodle dish, became immediately ill, had abdominal pain, vomiting, chills, weakness, shortness of breath, blurry vision, chest pain, and then developed purplish discoloration of their skin, had a heart rate of 166 beats per minute. Obviously, a lot of problems there. And just for having this rice, chicken, and lo mein leftovers at a restaurant, ended up having terrible complications. Had to have both legs amputated above the knee and parts of all 10 fingers. Turns out he was diagnosed with purpura fulminans, triggered by meningococcal disease, like meningitis-like disease, which can involve skin necrosis and rapid multi-organ failure. So this 19-year-old suffered all this, almost died, but had to have multiple amputations as parts of his body shut down. This is a very immensely rare thing. He didn't travel overseas. He didn't had all of his vaccines for the most part. We'll get to that. His friend who had the meal also got sick, but didn't have this sort of thing as well. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, the patient had a prolonged hospital course with many complications of fulminant meningococcemia. I guess I'm terrible with medical terms, including necrosis of the arms and legs and gangrene, which led to amputations of parts of all 10 fingers and bilateral below-knee amputations. So he had all of his vaccines except one. He missed his meningococcal vaccine, which is generally administered at age 16. So meningococcal. I want to say it's a meningitis-related thing, but I can't say that word. So, friends, one, if you're going to have leftovers, make sure you have all your vaccines. I always double-check with my doctors once you're like, am I all cut up? But, this is very, very rare. The many doctors are saying that this is a freak accident. The only thing of note is that he smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a week and smoked marijuana daily. They don't know if this played a role in it, but this is a case they'll be studying really, really carefully because you just don't see this. So, might have been a freak accident, but they'll be looking at it to see if there's some sort of connection here that they have not seen before. But, I'll eat leftovers the day after, but more than that, no thank you. No thank you. I just maybe pizza, and that's it. We now go to sports once again, where in NCAA baseball, they'll be introducing a device that pitchers will wear that can send them signals on what to pitch to cut down on sign stealing, which I guess is something that they don't want to do that anymore, and I thought it was part of the game, but that's becoming, I guess, a big issue with high-tech binoculars and cameras and people recording things and learning things and having databases of signals and be able to figure out what people are going to pitch. So I guess teams that have those resources, they're given an unfair advantage. So they're testing this out in the NCAA level of play. So from the dugout, they'll be able to send signals to the watch, a numeric signal like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and that will tell the pitcher what they want him, or her to pitch and whatnot. So the catcher will no longer be able to, will be no longer making signals, it'll be done from the dugout, and then, that'll be that. The catcher apparently will have a one-way earpiece to allow them to hear information from the dugout on a limited amount of time, so I guess they'll tell the catcher what to expect, I guess. But hopefully this will cut down on sign stealing and speed up the pace of play, because it will now let pitchers know that they got to pitch. Because I think they have introduced that into baseball, where there's a certain amount of time that someone has to pitch, or it counts as a ball, to hopefully speed up the pace of the game, which they could be long. So, but now this is what they're doing there in this little electronic device. Will we see it in regular baseball? Maybe, maybe not. They usually test things out in the college realm, and then they move it back up into the higher ones. So they're testing it out now, but experts do say that maybe that maybe they'll see this in the Major League Baseball level of play sometime soon. A lot of this has sort of come out of Whistlegate, which occurred in 2017. The Houston Astros were part of a sign stealing scandal, and now it's the thing that they're looking at. It's the thing that they're looking at. They don't want people doing that anymore. So we'll see how all this works, and maybe they'll use it in regular baseball. Speaking of sports, my friends, if you want to know about all things basketball, then you need to tune in Wednesdays at 9 p.m. to the Rack with Mac. It's your go-to thing. It's your go-to spot for all things basketball. It is NBA expert Mac Daddy, as he brings to you a full hour of high-flying hoops expertise. You don't want to miss it. To the Rack with Mac, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. here on AWSM Radio. And you might as well just keep listening, because after that, it's What's Going On. It's our Fox Sports affiliate show, providing listeners with over 150 combined years of sports knowledge. It's hosted by Nate Brown and his crew, who previously were a staple of Western New York sports for the last 2 decades. Now they're going national, and we got them here, my friends, on AWSM Radio, Wednesdays at 10 p.m. What's Going On? So for your full sports coverage, tune in here on Wednesdays. At 9 p.m., it's To the Rack with Mac, and at 10 p.m., it's What's Going On right here on AWSM Radio. And finally this week, did you know the Major League Baseball folks are on strike? Well, apparently if they don't have a deal by Monday, opening day will be delayed. Although it's a very arbitrary decision by the owners. I'm sure there's a little bit of wiggle room. But apparently they're saying, hey, deadline's a deadline. Monday we better have a deal, or you're not going to play opening day, and we'll just make up the games. No, they're not going to make up the games, and they're not going to get paid. So they're playing a little hardball with the baseball players. Zing. Well, my friends, that just about wraps up this week's Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor. I want to thank you for joining me here today, and remember, if you can, check out a variety of different charities and international organizations. Kick a few bucks to the folks in the Ukraine dealing with the awfulness that's going on over there. It's not going to be like a weekend thing. It's going to be pretty bad over there for quite a while, so any little bit you can kick over there will probably go a very, very long ways. I won't be covering it because it's going to be like wall-to-wall coverage on CNN anyways for the next few weeks or months as it is. So, but anyways, hope everyone over there is staying as safe as possible. As for me, my friends, you can hit me up on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Rizzle, even the Cameo at Colt S. Taylor. And please be sure to subscribe to the podcast version of this show at anchor.fm/Colt S. Taylor. And if you haven't already, then you probably won't, but maybe if you just forgot, bookmark ColtSebastianTaylor.com to check out all things Colt Sebastian Taylor. It's finally updated. After all these weeks of me saying that I'll do it soon, it's finally updated, so please check it out. Until next time, my friends, I am, of course, your friend, Colt Sebastian Taylor. and I'll see you later.